Monday, March 5th, 2018. Welcome to Sportsbook Betting Insight today from SBRpicks.com. Loaded show today. We got 3 big game breakdowns. Tomorrow, of course, NCAA conference tourney breakdowns. You really want to make sure that you're tuned in for that show because there's so much bad information about how to bet and beat conference tourneys. You get a primer right here on Sportsbet tomorrow. But for today, let's start with a little bad beats, bad bets, bad for the books from the weekend. And normally, I like to bring up stuff that happened a couple of days ago. People have forgotten about it. Not this one. This was a bad beat of all time. A Saturday classic. What are we going to call it? The Shep Gardner Trophy Award? Penn State, plus 8.5 at the close against Purdue. They're down 78-64. They're down 14 with 15 seconds left. There is no freaking way Penn State's covering that game. Except for that, Shep Gardner makes a 3. Purdue's trying to dribble out. Shep Gardner gets the steal and hits another 3. End of ball game. Boom. Penn State loses by only 8, plus 8.5. Good. Shep Gardner did it by himself. That was brutal. If you had the Boilermakers. Of course, yesterday there was no shortage of bad beats, bad bets, bad for the book. Certainly, I want to talk about the Wizards and the Pacers. That total got steamed up. Pacers whiz over 208 to 211.5. I landed 193. That was a bad bet. Welcome to playoff grinders against teams that are shuffling for position. Victor Oladipo after the game, quote, "We're going to have to grind it out the rest of the year. It's playoff basketball." That's certainly something worth noting for Indiana totals moving forward. The Pacers play the Bucks with Milwaukee in revenge tonight. Bad bet yesterday, college hoops. Wichita State, minus 1.5 up to -3 against Cincy. They lose the game outright. Shockers, not good enough to get the season sweep. Impressive win for the Bearcats. Wichita State did not play good defense down the stretch of their campaign. Big Ten Conference tourney title. The Wolverines do it 2 years in a row. Back-to-back runs to the championship game. Back-to-back championship game victories. How about this? Purdue took money. -3 up to -4.5 against Purdue. Of course, they lost the game wire to wire. But they lose by 9 in the end. John Beilein's now 25-8 straight up. 22-10-1 against the spread. Just blindly betting on him in postseason tourney games since the start of 2013. Started that Big Ten tourney in 2013. 22-10-1 ATS. Blindly betting on Beilein. He is really good. Short turnaround coach showed it again yesterday. Purdue, on the other hand, they head into the big dance on a 1-11-1 point spread run when laying points. That's as favorites. 1-11-1, their last 13 tries as favorites. Of course, they got shepped on Saturday. That dates all the way back to January. And it's worth noting, Purdue's going to be laying in the big dance, at least through the Elite 8. Just based on seeding, you would expect that. You might have 3 more chances to fade them in this role if you choose, and if they last that long. I'll bet the under Elite 8 on the Boilermakers, pre-tourney, pre-seedy, pre-anything. Michigan doesn't take the money, but they got the money in the Big Ten title game yesterday. Bad for book. Certainly worth talking about Suns and Hawks. You know, the opposite side, the flip side of teams that are fighting for playoff positioning in these grinder games is the teams that aren't fighting for playoff positioning. And a lot of times you see a lot more padding offensive stats and wild game flows than getting wins or playing defense. Suns Hawks over. Bet from 221.5 up to 225.5. And it landed in the worst possible spot for books. Right in the middle at 225. And note where in the middle it fell. Opens 221, closes at 225, and a hook lands 225. So all the early over money gets paid. Anyone that had buyback late got paid. Yeah, that was not a good result for the house. And we saw the unders getting steamed in Charleston, North Carolina, the Colonial Conference. Drexel Charleston bet under 150 to 144, fell 125. Townsend William and Mary under 160, bet down to 155.5, fell 146. Delaware Northeastern, 138.5, fell 124. UNC Hofstra under 162.5. Well, that one landed 181. But 3-1 for under bettors in the Colonial. Perhaps something to pay attention to. The wise guys all over the unders in Colonial Conference action this past weekend. Big game breakdown coming up next. pair in the NBA, and oh, we've got college hoops tournament style West Coast Conference right here on Sportsbook. Stay tuned. Like the show? Help us keep the lights on. Please make sure to comment, share, and subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review videos. Thanks so much. Best of luck. Enjoy the game.